Adrian.
You did it!
And Nicolas Saltou.
The blue boat here. Hey! Everyone's had a close swim, don't worry. Good work! 3 minutes, get him, Cat. 3 minutes. Well done, Paula, looking good. Well done, Emma. Well done, Yella. There's 8 places there, let's go! 150 to third. Stay strong, Imo. 150 to Emma, let's go! Come on, loads of places to make up. Well done, Taylor! Well done, Kat, finish the job. Stay tough, Imo, let's go. I don't know the gap now. Basket front split! Basket run it! Finish it, you've done it! Hey! 180! Woo! Well done! They settle in. Everybody's running well. Keep pushing, under 5 hours.
It's nearly wine time.
And Haley Fitzsimmons. In white, Lisa Visser. And Janne Liebman. Dana Nurmagano.
Here's the sub 5. 4:58.
Was it actually?
Yeah. So as you can see, the women's race was amazing. Really got stuck in with spectating both, obviously, Amy and all the other age groupers, but along with the pro women. Amy had a great day. I think she surprised herself a little bit. The swim was definitely, it looked a little long in terms of even the times of the pros and some of the other age groupers. The bike was good. She overcooked it, I think, on the first bit, but she gave it everything. They were her words. She came off the bike, and then she put together a pretty decent run split on what is a pretty challenging and testing course. As I promised to myself, I was going to get stuck in, so I came in with them when they came in the morning to sort their bikes out and that. So I spent all day in Lahti, which didn't necessarily help me in terms of spending a lot of time on my feet, a lot of time running around the course, a lot of energy cheering. That come the evening once we got home and I racked my bike, I'd never felt so wiped out and sort of low energy, particularly for the day before your own race. So not ideal, but something that I was keen to do to support Amy and others.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you too.
The Hoka Half Marathon. Professional women and age group.
Spectator crew.
Just like
Get away.
Sanchez, Gustavo Calderon, Stefan Bruzel, Oliver, Josh, Adrian, and Nicolas Sartu.
Right, I'll quickly run you through my race. So going to sleep the night before, I was very unwell, and I was very close to not starting the race, but the sort of fresh air in the morning and the nice clear water I thought would clear my head a bit, which is what happened. So started at the front of the swim. I was the second wave of people, so you went in groups of 10 off into the lake. It was a 1 metre dive into the lake, and then it's a point-to-point swim. Felt like I swam really well. Didn't really have much of an opportunity to swim with people. I probably started a bit too far up the front as the people in my group of 10 sort of shot off. So a bit of a lesson that although I like to try and start at the front and feel like I'm in a race, probably would have benefited from starting a few rows back. Onto the bike, it was a very busy bike course. That's to be expected, but it was nice in the sense that you were always overtaking people, or I was in my case. First 20 minutes felt pretty good, and I was sort of holding the power that I'd expect to hold. We were sort of targeting 270, 280-ish for the bike, which is a bit lower than I have done before on some 70.3s, but the plan was to ride really controlled so I could execute a really good run. After about 20 minutes, I had packs of people sort of catching me, or people similar ability, and it got a bit silly, to be honest. I was playing the role of a referee at times and pointing out to people where they were blatantly cheating and not really following the rules. In that time frame, the guy that won overall, Timo Jarrett, I think his name is, he came steaming past. He was someone that he raced Finland a few weeks ago when it was a 70.3, and I knew he was kind of gunning for the front of the race. I did about 4 or 5 minutes trying to chase him to get on his wheel. I think I averaged nearly 360 watts for about 5 minutes, and I failed. That wasn't because he was pushing more than that. I just missed the opportunity to get on, and I never quite got back on his wheel. After that, the group dynamics were playing out a bit, and I kind of just went with it and sort of settled into what I was doing. Close to an hour in, I decided that I didn't like the group that I was riding in. They were riding a bit slowly. I could probably be faster on my own, so I pushed on. And the second half of the bike was quite lonely in the sense that I had one guy that I was working with a little bit. Matt Brook came past at one point, and I rode with him for about 10 minutes or so. But apart from that, I just sort of held a steady power. I averaged 245 for the ride, which is basically my IRONMAN power, and kind of cruised into transition. Bike split was 211. I knew that was half decent. I definitely left some time out there by not kind of pushing my own watts, but at that point I was so grateful that I'd swam reasonably well. I'd got around the bike in somewhat a respectable time, and sort of knew that I was going to finish the race, if you like, as sort of 5-6 hours prior to that when I woke up. I didn't really think that was a possibility. Got onto the run. I really enjoyed the run. It's a run PB for me. I ran a mid 122. I think it's a 2-loop run course. Both loops were within 9 seconds of each other, so I pretty much even splitted the run. You start up and over a bridge, round like a running track, and I felt really good. The legs were really spinning over. Again, it was similar to the bike because there were so many people that started in front. The whole run I was overtaking people, and although they weren't people in my age group, I found it hugely motivating rather than casting my mind back to Tulsa where I was just on my own, not a crowd, no one in sight for miles on end. Got myself up the hill the first time. I'd sort of learned the lesson from Amy's run where she sort of pushed really hard up the hill on the first lap and then ran the hill quite a bit slower on the second lap. So I kind of cruised up it. I didn't think it was as bad as people were making out. It's, in terms of it wasn't steep. It just dragged on for a mile or two, and you do come flying back down it. Got through the first lap under 40 minutes or under 4 minute per K pace, and thought, you know what, if I can hold this for the whole run, I'll walk away from this really happy. Amy was giving me some false hope that I'd made my way up into the top 25 of my age group and that I was making progress. So I thought, bloody hell, this is going to be actually quite a good result. I'd sort of had in my head that top 20 would be reasonably respectful in this race for me. So that really motivated me, and I didn't push on necessarily, but I thought if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll be there or thereabouts. Second lap, I really worked hard up the hill. One of my athletes was actually on the hill at the time, so I sort of used him as a bit of a carrot to chase. Got to the top of the hill and then sort of cruised home. And it wasn't really until 19k or so, the last 2k, where I really started to think, you know, I've got to work significantly harder to sort of maintain that 3:55, 3:50 per k pace. So it's really encouraging for me, because that's sort of the low end of what I was hoping to do on the run. I definitely think if I felt a bit better and I was you know, ready to go for it, I definitely could have got a bit closer to 80 minutes, if not stuck under. So yeah, overall finished 38th in my age group, which shows how competitive the 30 to 34 age group is. And I can't remember the exact position, but 100 and something overall amateur in a field of nearly 4,000 people. For me, it does show significant progress from when I raced my last World Championships, which was Kona, where I sort of finished in the top 50%. I finished in the top 5-6% of athletes. So happy days. Focus now is to recover. Obviously, the legs are a bit battered. I've definitely still got something on my chest and a bit of a headache that I need to get rid of this week. And then we can make our way to Nice, freshen up, and hopefully have the race that I've sort of been dreaming of and practicing for in training on the big stage. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Amy's put an awful lot of effort into these couple of videos recently, and she's more motivated to get to 1,000 than I am. Cheers.